everybody, this is Ginger, and this is Ginger's Chat Show, and it's Monday, December 23rd, 24. Tomorrow will be Christmas Eve, and it'll be 12/24/24. We'd be in trouble if we have like a 24th month with the 24th uh, day and 24th year. I mean, we'd be in big trouble. Anyway, welcome to today. We've been getting rain off and on here in western Washington, and they're expecting some big storm to come through here. Hey, Nancy, how are things in Wisconsin? Hope you haven't got any more snow. Probably get more coming your way. Yesterday it was raining hard and it was snowing hard up in the mountains up here in the Cascades. So you'll probably be getting it according to depends on how far the jet stream will dip down to your neck of the woods. Anyway, I don't know if you heard on the news or watched on the news what was going on. Matt Gaetz' House Ethics Report was released. They did it anyway. They released it anyway. He's in deep doo-doo. Oh, that's good. I'm glad it's not freezing on the road, Nancy. That would make it challenging to drive on if it was icy. Anyway, he's in deep doo-doo with the state of Florida over this. Because he did violate Florida state law. And state law and their penalty for that, with a minor and everything else, is life in prison. That's their penalty. The federal side, well, they have the stupid statute of limitations. And really what they should do is say to the victims, look, you need to come forward, have all the evidence, come forward and tell it like it is, and so it will not happen to the next person. And make that person who committed the crime held responsible for his actions. And that's what needs to happen. Especially with Gaetz doing what he's doing. And, well, he resigned from Congress already because he knew if the ethics report came out, he would be given the boot. Well, he's still in trouble. And it's a big legal quagmire for him. They said, well, the witnesses were not cooperative or anything else. I go, really? Have you really thoroughly checked on that? And on the victims, they need to have an advocate for them that will say, hey, look, we're beside you every way on this, and you need to put your foot down. Hypothetically, I would have put my foot down. No, I'm not going to allow this to happen to anybody else. And Gaetz is hoping that, they don't. That's right. There should not be a statute of limitations on underage kids. Yeah. Statute of limitations should be banned. Because, like a murder, there's no statute of limitations on murder. So there should not be a statute of limitation on sex crimes. And they need to take off the kid gloves. It should be, regardless of anybody is in Congress or White House or that works in federal government, Supreme Court, should be irregardless of anybody. And they need to be held accountable. And I'm tired of the kid gloves thing that's going on. Anyway, there should be a DOJ recommendation, recommendation, report him and say, look, this happened in Congress. This happened in the halls of Congress, okay? And this happened, apparently somebody saw him do it in the House chambers. So, you know, they should have filmed it and say, hey, this crime has been committed and it should be reported. And also he's getting his karma on this. He's getting instant karma. I never liked the guy. He never did his job for Florida, ever. You know, same way like DeSantis and everything else. They don't do their jobs. All they want is the prestige. And they say, oh, look who I am type thing. That's not how it works. Now, the next thing I talk about is Trump threatening and or, I would say both, bullying other sovereign nations like Greenland and Panama and Canada and our allies. And I go, you know what, Trump, you're being stupid. You're so dumb at this. You don't know how anything works. Thanks, Doug. You don't know how anything works. He said Greenland should be annexed. Greenland's a nation. You can't annex another nation. That doesn't work that way. And somebody should tell him to his face, no, you cannot do that. It's not going to happen. Same way with, he was saying, well, he'll invade Canada, make Canada 51st state. I said, no, that's a sovereign nation. You can't do that either. He should be told to his face, this is what you cannot do. Okay? And if you break the law, then you should be in jail. He should be in jail anyway. Okay? They need to, again, the kid gloves need to come off and treat him like a common criminal. And Trump should be slapped. The 14th Amendment should be slapped on him. And he should be disqualified, period. Now, there's been some random conversation going around about J.D. Vance. He's looking at imposing the 25th Amendment just to remove Trump. And also, there was some talk around with MAGA Mike replacing him and then making Elon Musk Speaker of the House. They're forgetting one little detail. Elon Musk is not elected representative of the House. Okay? He has no governmental experience whatsoever. And he wouldn't know what to do either. He doesn't know, Elon Musk doesn't know how things work either. The only thing he knows is his SpaceX and everything else, but he doesn't know government side, the civic side of government. And so, he's out of it, okay. There was one other person they were recommending. I go, well, he's not an elected official either. I've forgotten who it was. But, no. You need somebody that has experience in government. Experience in representing your constituents, both the Senate and the House. Okay? Because with Trump, frankly, I think they should just arrest him and just throw him in jail and say, nope, you're not going to get sworn in. You're not going to be president of the United States ever. Well, I said that's a limitation, and I have immunity. No, you don't. You don't have immunity whatsoever, Trump. You violated so many laws, both the federal and state level. New York, which I'm referring to, the state level, New York level. and federal level that you have no business being president of the United States whatsoever. You don't belong there. I like to see somebody that's strong and knows what he's doing, like President Biden. In many ways, I wish President Biden did run for re-election and won. But since earlier this year, he caught COVID, it kind of really knocked the wind out of his sails there. It made him really ill. So that's when he decided not to go ahead and go for re-election. President Biden's pretty smart. Now, the other thing, too, is that Trump keeps threatening and everything else. People need to start calling him out for it and say, stop. And the media, even the legacy media, like guys like ABC, NBC, CBS, and everything else, they need to build a backbone and say, no, we'll call it out for what it is. And they need to stop bending a knee to Trump. Okay? Because of all the years I've seen other presidents come and go, there was never any of this. They put out a thing, and of course the White House press corps was very, very careful, and they just made sure everything was on the same page. And they said, no, we need to be factual, okay? Sorry, I'm fighting allergies here. Trump needs to be muzzled. He's the one that needs to be muzzled. And social media, his True Social, that should be shut down. Okay. Well, they say, well, that goes against First Amendment rights. And I go, that what Trump is saying and doing, it doesn't. So, the other one is that Laura Trump, his daughter-in-law, she decided not to run for a federal seat in the Senate in Florida. I don't know what the reason that she gave or anything. Nothing was really said, but she decided not to do it. She resigned from the co-chair of the Republican Party, and apparently she found out a number of things in that too. There was a lot of strong stuff in there, and maybe there is some traditional Republicans in there, and they say, no, we don't want MAGA in there, even though MAGA tried taking it over. I think MAGA is now kind of disappearing because Trump kind of went against them, and I think some of them are waking up now. And more and more people are watching and listening to Midas Touch because they put out factual news, and people are hungry for that. And some say, oh, well, no, they're not. They're putting out propaganda news. And I go, no, they're putting out factual news. They're not Midas Touch is not run by mega corporations and billionaires and everything else. They're run by themselves. The people that subscribe and pay into Midas Touch, we help this channel grow. And it's getting better ratings than Fox News, which I find it really kind of funny. Oh, and Fox News threw a little hissy fit. They didn't like the idea that Midas Touch got first dibs on doing an interview with President Biden, which I watched. I don't know if any of you guys watched it or not. But check with Midas Touch in there and look up President Biden's interview. It's happened like middle of last week, something like that. But just look it up and find it. Do a search on YouTube, Midas Touch, and then President Biden's interview. And you should watch and listen to the whole thing on it. Let's see. Oh, and this happened over the weekend. President Biden filled 34, get this, 34 judicial benches about the most qualified judges around the country. And these people, follow the law, and also they don't allow politics to get in the way of things. Even though I've been hearing stories that some MAGA judges are turning against Trump and said, no, this is the law. And Trump has been a teeny tiny little bully that he is. You think the guy would just shut up and crawl under a rock and stay there? So anyway, with the judicial seats being filled, it's effectively setting little traps for Trump. So anytime he tries to get appeals or anything done, he's not going to get it. He's not going to get the appeal. He tried so many times doing an appeal on the 34-count felony conviction that he did in New York. It was denied. And so really, what part of no does Trump not understand? Okay. So I like the way President Biden thinks. I really do. He's setting traps. He's making things stronger. So strong in the office of the president that Trump can't do anything. And Elon thinks that he's going to be people think that he should be president. Elon cannot be president of the United States. You know why?
Sorry, I don't understand.
What's going on? What's going on is that Elon is he's a native of South Africa. So he's not a natural born citizen of the United States, so he cannot be president, ever. So he doesn't have a say. He should just stay out of government and just worry about his business, okay? And the other thing I would really like to see, and a lot of people like to see, is companies like Meta, SpaceX or X or whatever, those companies that were taken over by Zuckerberg and Musk, they should be split up and made employee owned. They should not be allowed to own more than one entity. Okay, they should only own one. You don't want all this other crap that's going on. So anyway, other than that, that's what's been going on, and I for one, next month, I am not going to be watching the inauguration, okay? First time was bad enough, and how he acted and how he was so smug and everything else. Well, now he has lost. I think Trump lost a lot of people. The crowds, he keeps boasting crowd size, and you know what? I bet you the crowd's going to be much smaller than it was last time. So, some way to be. Now it'd be my wish would be it'd be funny if he was handcuffed right then and there and let off and say, no, you're not going to be sworn in. You're going to jail like right now, and be disqualified right then and there, right in front of everybody, disqualified for being president. And then you know what they should do is ask President Biden to extend his presidency for another month while there is, during that month, it's a snapshot election. Have 3 people throw their hat in the ring. In other words, they have background checks, everything done, and say, okay, run for president for 1 month. End of the month, have an election. There should be no, don't use the electoral college. Just do direct popular vote. Do like what Britain does. Theirs is done by popular vote. They don't have electoral college or anything. Same way with Canada. But on that day, election day, there should not be any advertisement. Like Britain, they shut down their advertisement. Don't allow any advertisements or anything going on. In other words, they don't do any dirty work, if you will. And elect a new president right then and there. Or give the presidency to Kamala Harris. And then she should keep the cabinet that President Biden has. Now, I think there is one cabinet member said that I don't know who it was, I've forgotten who it was, but he said he won't stay on because of, I think it was like health issues or something like that. And when President Biden was going to run for re-election. But hey, you know, and I think now the election system needs to be overhauled. They should cut down the election thing, the primaries, down to 1 month on a primary. Okay. Do a blanket primary all over the United States, break it down to 1 primary for 1 month. Following month is the election. You'll pick a day for election, like the 15th or whatever, and do it by popular vote and just knock off the electoral college. That way there won't be any tampering. I think that's part of the problem. Because remember, during 2020, there was the fake electors, and that's when they caught them and everything. So we need to do a big overhaul in the election system. For president, you know, congressional, senatorial, federal level, states should look at their state level, Senate, House, and state legislatures, and the governor, and lieutenant governors. Now, next month, Ron Ferguson is going to be our new governor here in Washington State. So, hey, I'm glad we still have a Democrat in there. And I noticed now some of the red states are now revolting. So again, we will see what happens. But keep fighting. Keep persisting, insisting, and pushing back and calling out what it is. And talk to your senators, talk to your representatives, and say, look, remember, respectfully when I say this, you work for us. You work for us, not the other way around. Anyway, I will see you next Friday at 1 o'clock. Uh, hope to see you soon. Have a wonderful Christmas. Enjoy your week. And stay safe when traveling. And I will see you guys on Friday. Okay? Merry Christmas. Talk to you later. Bye-bye. Love you. Bye-bye. Oh, and I'll post this on my YouTube channel too. Okay. Bye-bye. You too, Nancy. Love you.